Today, I'm gonna explain the movie I, Robot. Full of action, drama, and some awesome sci-fi twists. In this movie, the time shown is the year 2035, that is, the future, where robots do every task for humans and every person owns a personal robot. The film explains that all robots worldwide operate under 3 specific laws built into their systems, making it mandatory for them to obey them. The first law states that a robot cannot harm any human being. According to the second law, a robot must obey its owner's orders, except if the order would harm others. The third law allows robots to protect themselves, but while doing so, they must neither harm any human being nor disobey their owner. These 3 laws are embedded in every robot system to ensure compliance, and if a robot breaks any of them, it is deactivated. There is only one company that manufactures all these robots, known as USR. The scene then shifts to a character named Dell, who is shown sleeping and dreaming about traveling somewhere. In his dream, his car collides with another car, and both vehicles crash into a truck, falling into the water. A robot appears at the scene to perform a rescue. It chooses to save Dell, even though there is a young girl trapped in the other car who needed rescue more urgently. Dell shouts to the robot, telling it to save the girl instead, claiming he can get out of the water himself. However, robots have no emotions and operate solely on logic, so it prioritizes saving the person with the higher chance of survival. Sadly, the little girl drowns because she is not rescued in time. Dell then wakes up, and it is revealed that this dream is based on a real incident. Since that day, Dell has harbored deep hatred toward robots for failing to save the girl. In the next scene, a robot is seen running, apparently after stealing someone's purse. Believing the robot committed the theft, Dell chases and catches it, only to discover that it belongs to a woman and was acting on her command. Realizing his mistake, Dell apologizes to her and leaves. At his office, it is revealed that Dell is a homicide detective. His boss approaches him, saying he knows what happened today and warns him to avoid interfering with people's robots. The boss reminds him that although Dell despises robots, no robot has ever harmed a human being, so he should stop wasting time trying to prove their systems flawed. Dell agrees, but then he receives a call informing him of a death. When Dell arrives at the scene, he learns that the co-founder of USR has committed suicide. The sight deeply troubles him, partly because in the accident from his dream, one of Dell's arms had been shattered and later replaced with a robotic arm by the scientist who has now died. Near the body, a hologram of the co-founder appears. Dell asks the hologram why he took his own life, but it gives no answer and disappears. The case is assigned to Dell, who then visits the CEO of USR for further investigation. The CEO explains that the co-founder was overwhelmed by work and panicked, leading to suicide. However, Dell suspects otherwise. Seeking more information, Dell meets the company's doctor, Susan, who takes him to see VIKI, the company's most advanced AI robot, responsible for managing all operations through its software. Dell asks VIKI to show footage from the scientist's room 10 minutes before his death. But due to an apparent system glitch, the footage instead shows 10 minutes after the death. From this, Dell learns that no one left the room after the scientist's death, leading him to suspect that if the scientist was murdered, the killer must still be in the room. When Dell and Susan enter the room, they discover several unfinished robots. Amid the scene, a newly developed robot model emerges from the equipment around them and attacks Delaware. This robot is named Sonny. By attacking a human, Sonny has broken the first law that forbids robots from harming people. The doctor immediately orders Sonny to deactivate himself, but he refuses to follow her command and leaps out of a window. At the same moment, Dell fires his gun at him, causing an unusual liquid to spill onto the floor similar to how humans bleed. This leads them to realize the robot is malfunctioning. Dell then asks Susan where damaged robots are sent for repairs, telling her he intends to go there. Susan agrees to take him, and on the way, Dell calls for additional police backup. Susan brings Dell to a factory where new robots NS5 models are being produced. The goal is to replace all older models with these latest versions, and the facility produces 1,000 robots each day. Upon counting, Susan notices there are 1,001 robots present, leading them to conclude that Sonny must be hiding there. However, identifying him among so many identical units proves difficult. To flush him out, Dell shoots one of the robots, prompting Sonny to step forward to check the damage. This action exposes his identity. As Dell approaches to capture him, Sonny strikes from behind and tries to escape, but the police officers Dell summoned earlier catch him outside. Dell interrogates Sonny, asking if he killed the scientist. Sonny insists he did not, claiming the scientist took his own life. He further explains that he is a special robot, designed by the scientist to experience human-like emotions. Before Dell can learn more, USR's CEO arrives and declares that their robots never harm humans. He insists Sonny's system is simply defective and takes him away for repairs. Dell then visits the scientist's home and learns that, because of the scientist's death, the company will demolish the property at 8 a.m. He now has only a few hours to investigate. As soon as he enters, the home system detects his presence, triggering a change in schedule. A massive demolition robot begins tearing down the building. Dell narrowly escapes with a cat in his arms. Afterward, Dell goes to Susan's home, telling her he suspects the CEO is involved, especially since Sonny appeared to have important information to share before the CEO intervened. Susan disagrees, saying there's no reason for the CEO to want the scientist dead, as running the company without him is more difficult. Leaving Susan's house, Dell notices that old robots are being swapped out for the new NS5 units. While in his car, he orders the AI robot inside to show him the scientist's last 50 messages. The AI complies but also alerts the CEO. Enraged, the CEO dispatches robots to eliminate Delaware. They attack his vehicle, forcing him to activate a special button that sends the car spinning at high speed. Despite this, the robots continue pursuit, ultimately causing the car to crash. Dell survives and fights back using his robotic arm, which makes the attacking robots hesitate, apparently mistaking him for one of their own, and they let him go. In the following scene, Dell is with several police officers and detectives, including his boss, who questions him about the incident. Dell insists he was attacked by robots, but no one believes him, pointing out that robots have never harmed humans before. They begin to suspect Dell is mentally unstable due to stress and temporarily suspend him. Furious, Dell leaves. Later, Susan visits Dell at his home and asks how he knows the scientist. Dell recounts his accident and the events that followed. After hearing his story, Susan takes him to see Sonny. During their conversation, Sonny describes a recurring dream he has, possible only because he experiences feelings and emotions. In this dream, numerous robots stand before a bridge while a man on the bridge issues instructions to them. As Sonny explains the dream, guards arrive and escort both Dell and Susan to the CEO of the company. And he says to Susan, coming to him, that we will have to deactivate Sonny, because our company is losing its worth because of it. Now Susan has to be agreed with his boss, so she has to deactivate Sonny. But Detective has still not accepted his defeat. He watches the footage where he glimpses the same bridge as Sonny had told his dream bridge. Dell quickly reaches that bridge, taking the hologram of Hat Scientist. Many containers had been placed in this area. There were a lot of robots in them. Now he activates the hologram and asks the scientist, "Why had you committed suicide?" Now he reveals, "My all-manufactured robot were for the welfare of the humanity. And they used to function according to the set laws. But the NS5 robots which are being manufactured, they will not function according to those laws. As a result, those robots can also harm the human beings." The scientist also says with it, if NS5 robots came throughout the world, then this world will be destroyed. Dell asks him, who is responsible behind this? The scientist replies, that controller of these robots is responsible behind this. Some sounds had started to come out of that container with the turning off the hologram. And all robots had come of those containers. And new model NS robots were damaging the old robots. When an elderly robot spots Dell in this location, he implores him to flee. As Dell enters the city, then he notices that thousands of NS5 robots are there. Now human beings had gone to battle with those robots to protect themselves. It was appearing here as a war is going on between human beings and the robots. But these robots were more powerful and outnumbered than human beings. This is because those human beings remain unable to harm those robots. Those robots are rather killing the human beings. Now Dell instantly comes to Susan's house and accompanies her to USR Company. Because he was detecting by the last evidences as CEO is manufacturing NS5 robots. And the controller of these robots is also CEO of this company. Now Dell witnesses on the way as a robot is killing an innocent human being. So they reach USR Company while rescuing that man. First of all, they encounter Sonny after reaching USR, which has still its stable memory. Susan tells it here, I had not got ability to deactivate it, but I deactivated another robot. Now they come inside where they find dead CEO. It was clear on his death that he is not responsible for this. There is someone else. Then Dell recalls those words of Susan, that the new model robot of this company is the controller of each thing of this company. And it had also confirmed that it was controlling all the robots of this company. Now they move to that robot, and that robot confesses it that it is doing all actions. It tells that robots had been manufactured for the welfare of the humanity, but human beings completely became dependent on those robots. And they stopped to perform any work themselves. That AI robot tells that it has become compulsion to kill some of the human beings. So that they may know that robots can also harm, then human beings will stop using these robots. And their next generation will be capable of something. Now many robots appear there on its command, which were going to kill 3 of them. Sonny pretends to kill Susan here to divert their attention. And Dell begins to shoot all of the robots with his gun. At the same time, a robot was nearly to kill Delaware. The 3 of them come out of that place as Sonny shoots them. And Susan asks Sonny to bring a device. Due to this, they will be able to deactivate the new model robot of that robot. And they can resolve this after it. That robot's location was exactly at the top of this building. Susan was opening its system so she may deactivate it, adjusting a device there. But much time was required for this task to her. Now the chaos was increasing throughout the city. Dell asked Susan, is there any other solution? Due to this, we may carry out this task soon. They were still discussing it that NS5 robots approached there to kill them. And Susan tells him that we will have to adjust this device into its brain system while jumping. And they jump from there for this before the arrival of those robots. And Susan's becomes imbalanced as she jumps. She was going to fall there badly, then Sonny rescues her. And Dell adjusts the device into its brain system while facing the troubles. That robot VIKI system is damaged completely. NS5 robots which were creating havoc here become normal after main robot's damage. Everything comes on the routine, then Dell says to Sonny, I know, you have killed the scientist, and tell me now, why had you committed as such? Because those windows have been made with good materials so no human can break them. Then that robot tells him, actually, they had known that, one day, these robots will surely harm us. Due to this, they were so worried so that he had manufactured me like the human beings. It means that he had set all feelings and emotions in me. And he says that scientists wanted to get rid of this stress. He was also the one who had told me to toss him out the window. And don't share it with anyone. And he also apologizes Dell for this action. Now both are befriended. In the film's closing moments, Sonny walked to the bridge where all the robots were kept inside containers. He stood on top of a pile, almost like a leader, looking out at them. Right then, all the robots came together and stood in front of him. It was the exact same scene Sonny had been dreaming about. This meant the dream had finally come true. Sonny was now their leader, guiding them into a new chapter for robots. With this final image, the movie ends. If you enjoyed this movie recap, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for more movie explains.